Hey YouTube.
Hi.
We are back with another con review.
Drink it in.
Just
drink it in.
It's a trap.
I brought some friends.
Don't do it.
I just got you 20 more lady viewers. That's right.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Every time we have you on a video, we lose subscribers.
So this last weekend, while I took off to Anaheim for Star Wars celebrations,
If you want to see our review of it, click JP's face. That's where I'll put the link.
The annotation.
these jackasses went to Calgary.
Fuck you, Star Trek hippie. Yeah, we went to Calgary. Take it away. Was that your?
Yeah,
Is that you giving me the
Do
reins?
it.
Are you sure?
Do it.
So we went to the convention that matters.
Whatever.
It's okay. Calm down.
Did anything out of
Friends.
Calgary make people cry? I doubt it.
Actually,
Are you kidding?
there's a story behind
I made a baby cry in the parade.
Yes,
You did. You totally made a baby cry. Anyway, we went to Calgary. And Calgary, I'm sure as you know, because I'm assuming most of our viewership is in Canada. Calgary is one of the bigger cons in Canada. I think second only to Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto, I think, is still the biggest. And of course, this was also the 10th anniversary of the Calgary Expo. Woo! They actually really didn't do anything special for that. So
they tried, but it
kind of dropped the ball on that Calgary. That's okay.
Is it really?
Nah. But it was 4 days. Don't give me the dates. What were the dates? I don't remember the dates. Anyway,
It's the same days as Anaheim.
Yeah.
19, 18, 17, and 16. I only did that
so
because
16 to 20.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I only did that because 420 was Monday and
Right, and everyone was smoking weed.
everybody was baked.
Well, actually, no. Then would have been the 19th to the 16th to the 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
That's
Math.
what I said. 19, 18, 17, 16.
What's the
Moving
thing where you
on.
study on like calendars and shit? Anyway, Calgary was, as usual, that's my big con of every year. I didn't get to go last year, but the year before. And of course, as I just said, this is my second year. This is the first year for these two guys.
Yeah.
And
Apparently, it was an interesting road trip.
it was a very interesting
God,
road
yeah.
trip. Lots of not HR friendly conversations. He has a thing, and it was brought up numerous times. Not in a great light.
Do you want me to just say it?
What did you call the move?
Oh God.
What did I call the move? Oh yeah! I don't even remember.
I'm glad the viewers are in on the joke because I haven't got a clue.
Yeah, I
what
haven't a fucking clue.
Yeah. No,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Point is, it was a good drive up. We drove up, obviously, Regina. These guys are from Moose Jaw here. Went by just fine. As far as the whole con itself went, it was great.
No.
It was just as good as I remembered.
So who was the big draw this year? Because I know, like the last one when I went, it was TNG. Like they had the entire cast.
Well,
next
fun
gen.
story about that. Probably the biggest draw, as usual, would have been Stanley. But he's old and going to die soon, so
And now I'll never get a chance to meet him.
And now never got a chance. Probably the other one would have been Norman Reedus, but he also backed out. So I probably would have said the guy from Arrow.
Oh yeah.
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell was there. It was actually a very good amount of
Patrick Harris?
Neil Patrick Harris was a last minute replacement. He was a draw. Rosario Dawson. What's his face? The guy, grown up Twilight guy. He's gonna be Aquaman.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Momoa.
He's like that guy from Twilight, but grown up.
He's an asshole.
You mean Game of Thrones?
Yeah. He is an asshole.
He's like the werewolf. He's like the werewolf guy from fucking Twilight, except he can act slightly better. Except in Conan. Don't watch Conan. Conan is shit.
Jason Momoa was an asshole.
He was a dick?
40 minutes late to his autograph signing and wouldn't personalize any of the autographs.
That's probably because he was too busy smashing that puss.
Or getting drunk at the hotel, as I found out on his Twitter.
Or drunk on the hotel. Oh yeah, and of course, speaking of drunk at the hotel, Peter Cullen, voice of Optimus Prime, was there.
Yeah.
We got to see him just hammered at the bar. It was hysterical.
And if, just a side note, if you check the picture where you're pushing him in the face to get him away from you because you don't want him in the picture,
of course,
Peter Cullen's in the background.
Nice. I hope he's giving me a thumbs up. That would be badass.
I totally
But
guess
yeah,
that.
just picture this once again. Love Peter Cullen. He's a great guy. But just picture this: getting like help to his hotel room by his stagehand, and as he's getting dragged away, he's like, "Autobots, roll out in the voice, and we're just like, fucking right. He was so drunk.
Made our night every night.
Other Kris fell to his knees and
Kris fell to his knees and was like, probably had to change his pants.
So
If you don't know
good.
what that means, look it up.
Nice.
But yeah, as far as the celebs went, it was really good.
That's good.
Really, really good to collect. Like, there was over, I'd say over 20.
Yeah,
That's
at
nice.
least
50,
over-
15 to
at least
20.
over
So
20.
if you're a fan of anything.
Mick Foley was there,
Mick
Trish
Foley was
Stratus
there,
was there,
Trish
Lita
Stratus.
was there, and as being the wrestling fan that I am, of
Yes.
course, I wanted to see them, but I didn't because I've already got all their autographs, so I
Yeah,
don't really
there
need
you go.
them. But
Trish was okay.
yeah, and Trish was super nice. You know, we were walking by and we were in our you were doing Future Foundation Spider-Man.
Yes, Future Foundation Spider-Man.
And I was doing
Deadpool.
my death stroke. I'm gonna punch you. My death stroke. And yeah, she totally waved at us and thought our outfit was cool and told me to call her, which obviously isn't a thing. She was just being, you know,
Trish.
facetious.
Trish.
And yeah, it was a super fun sort of just an interaction with Trish Stratus. She was very personal, so good.
Yeah.
That's what nice.
Yeah. So as far as celebrities go, it was really good. It's a lot better than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
As far as special events that went on, I don't know if the Expo was particularly helping with it, but we had the Parade of Wonders on Friday,
which was super fun.
which was
was
super
fun.
good. I got to be part of a Guardians of the Galaxy group.
Best
Who was wearing my rocket?
That was Reese.
God damn.
and
that
check
was
Like
this-
Rob's like, I want to wear the. I want to borrow the rocket so I
Yeah.
can wear it.
And if you want, we'll put a link up to some of those pictures because
Yeah.
God, there were some.
Well, I don't need a link.
fantastic-
I'll sub it in
There,
above
yeah,
us or
we'll just
whatever.
put it in.
Over this.
Just make it.
Why is it always over my face?
Because they're not important.
Because. But yeah, it was a really good
It's coming
parade.
from the cripple.
Wow, you're meaner than me.
That's saying something.
What the fuck, JP?
It's okay, we're allowed to do it. He's okay with
Guy
it.
has cerebral palsy and you just blared him on fucking the internet. You're such a jerk.
You're an asshole.
I hope you fall and break your hip at some point in your old age.
And then you can meet each other at the meetings. Anyway, see, we're all friends here, disabilities or not. You know, he's an alcoholic, I'm an alcoholic, he has cerebral palsy, this guy's a Christian, I mean, we all have our problems.
And is almost an alcoholic.
Almost an
I'll give you
alcoholic.
that.
I'd
So
take
we're
one
getting
there.
sidetracked here, but point is, the Parade of Wonders was really good. You know, definitely take a look. I think CTV Calgary was doing some tracking of that. You were doing your steampunk Mando for that.
Everyone popped
If you
for
see,
that.
if you see a Guardians, because that was the weird thing is there was two Guardians of the Galaxy group. If you see the one with like the 9-foot Groot, that was us. And obviously the Star Lord with some hair poking out the back, that was me. But yeah, the parade was really good. As far as special events go, aside from that, it was your pretty typical con.
Yeah, I mean, they had their panels, and
Yeah.
I experienced a few panels. There was a monologue one which I attempted to attend, and then I had a health issue, so I had to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't hungover. But yeah, and then
Well,
I,
you'd assume it.
I attended a steampunk one, but for the most part, because it was so huge, I mean, the first day I walk in there, not knowing what to expect, and just utterly overwhelmed
The
with
people.
how
Yeah, people.
much.
How much
I remember when I went.
Well, I was
the
gonna say
people
because
were
I'd already
crazy.
been, so I was used to the con being that big. How was that for you guys? Like, obviously, this is probably the biggest con you've ever
Yes,
been to.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've attended Winnipeg several times, and
That's nothing.
yeah, it
That's-
was
yeah.
paled in comparison
That's-
to the size and scope of this
Of Calgary.
of Calgary, and it wasn't one building. It was like two buildings and a bunch of other rooms and things. It was insane, but the amount of photography that was
Yeah.
taken of anybody in a costume. And I mean, I went to experience it because I like to take pictures of other people's costumes. It gives them that bit of an ego boost, and I actually really enjoy seeing other people's costumes and going back and looking through the photos
I do, yeah.
and remembering experiences and exchanges with different people. And the really good costumes, it gives you ideas for stuff you might want to try in the future.
Yeah.
I had an incredibly great time just cosplaying. Everybody was super friendly. I mean, even when we started getting into jokes and doing bits to try and make people laugh, it was super exciting and super fun. We met some great people. I made a ton of new friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ton of new
And I mean, just really good people. And I just, I don't have enough good stuff to say about the con.
Well, that's a beauty thing about doing those bigger cons is that you're always gonna meet new people no matter what.
Yeah.
Like when I went a few years back for the first time, some of the guys that I met there were all 501st and Mercs and all that kind of stuff, and they came down to Anaheim, and it was like, and I hadn't seen any of those guys since Calgary, and so it was like, oh my god, it's always good to see. And one of them moved all the way out to BC, so it was like a nice little mini reunion and stuff.
Yeah,
so it was
great.
always nice.
And so I mean, you get to meet all these people. I mean, props to the group. I think the group's out of Edmonton. They did the post-apocalyptic Joker.
Yeah.
Batman?
Yeah. Well, it was half Edmonton, half Regina, and also Saskatoon. It was a group of people we knew that did like a post-apocalyptic Batman group, and also they also did the
so good. It was so good.
Like there's those bombshell DC statues that came out, like
Yeah.
1950s kind of pinup Harley Quinn and everything. They had like girls and guys like that. They walked the parade like that, so keep an eye out for them.
And,
It was really
a
good.
special note to the princesses who wanted our picture with them.
Yes.
Yeah,
The princesses that demanded it. Well, that was Saturday was our good day. We were rocking Joker, Bane, and Scarecrow, and it was
Bane, Joker,
good.
Scarecrow.
Yeah, obviously Scarecrow, Bane, Joker. Right? Oh yes. No, it was really really good. As far as swag goes, like stuff we bought, as Jan said, and I'm the exact same. I'm not really there to buy stuff. I'm really there to meet people, just have a good time in cosplay.
On the other note,
Chris with us.
Other Chris,
Spent like $2,000.
who like on just every time we came home.
Maybe I'll see if he wants to come on later and show us exactly how much
my
shit he
God.
bought, but
Oh
it was
my God.
insane.
I can see that. Like I haven't
he
seen
made up
that
for all
guy
of us,
in a
hands
long
down.
And he did the
time.
shit. He's funny as
funny as
fuck.
fuck.
He is hilarious. Very funny guy.
Helped make the weekend
Yeah.
full of laughter, definitely.
And I guess just real quick as far as kind of like cosplays go, so yours in a row, what did you do?
On the first day, which was
Thursday.
Thursday, I did my Deathstroke, which is my tactical armor. And last time I was on here, I talked about a couple different costumes, and I don't think any of these were on the list.
No, none of them were.
But I did my Deathstroke. Day 2, on the Friday, I did my Mandalorian steampunk armor, which
went
got
over
a
very well.
lot
Yeah, it
of
went over pretty
of
well.
attention from the steampunk people, and also from the Mandalorians and the 501st and everybody else. They all thought it was really, and then just from people, because it all lights up. It's a whole thing, and it's almost 200 hours worth of work into it. It's made from scratch. I'm really, really proud of it. And so, it went over very well, and it was a nice, because to me, that piece, is as much art as it is a
Painting,
costume, right?
Yeah.
And to get that much positive feedback for it was a real
That's
nice,
always a nice feeling.
real nice pat on the back, just to know that I'm doing something that people think is really, really fucking cool. And so I was really happy with that. Then Saturday, we fucking killed it, because Joker, Bane, and Scarecrow, the three of us walking around, we did the cinematic versions.
The Dark Knight version.
The Dark Knight
The
versions.
Christopher Nolan ones.
The
to be
Christopher
specific,
Nolan characters. So there was no scarecrows with crazy stuff. It was just standard stuff. But people absolutely loved it. We must have gotten about 1,500 photographs.
A lot
taken.
of photos that day.
During the day.
That was our photo day.
It was like we almost had no time to do anything else, because
Yeah.
we'd just stand in one place, we'd walk 2 steps, and then 400 people would come and just try and take our picture. And that was super fun, because it meant we were doing really well. And then the last day, I rocked
Darth Hobo.
Darth
Don't need to
Hobo.
be around the bush. Darth Hobo.
I was Darth Hobo. I was really hungover, so I did a Sith Lord outfit and then just let my gut hang out and just rubbed it for all the ladies, much like I did at the beginning of this video.
There you go.
Have a
So
look,
just
ladies.
picture that, but then
Have a look.
him with a Sith robe on.
I should say the cosplays I've probably done over the weekend were Future Foundation Spider-Man on Thursday,
It was awesome.
Darth Sidious on Friday,
Very well done.
obviously Scarecrow for the
For Saturday, yeah.
and then Kirito from Sword Art Online on Sunday.
And
Right.
you got your sword, motherfucker!
Yeah, I got my sword. It was so badass. People were complimenting me on it.
It was a really cool sword. So he's finally got his Kirito sword.
And then I started with, I did a Disney prince. I don't even know if he's a prince.
Yeah, he is. He
Flynn.
qualifies.
He does.
Flynn.
So I was Flynn Rider
So,
from
yeah.
Tangled, because a friend
Yeah.
of mine from Calgary does Rapunzel. I'm fucking adorable.
He pulled it off. I'll give him
I
that.
totally
It
pulled it
looks
off.
fine. Like, it
Yeah.
looked good. There's actually a bunch of, like, Han Solo Flynn's at Anaheim.
I was here. Well, especially if you know you got a fucking slave Leia Elsa. That's
Yeah, the slave Elsa.
Unless
was,
I don't know. Fuck the ice. That's hot.
Unless you're in the parade and the wind's blowing and it's like 5 degrees out, and then you're
Yes.
frozen slave Leia, which
Yes.
was hilarious, but
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that one who
Yeah.
just
was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So that was the first day. The second day with the parade, as I was saying, that was my first time busting out Star Lord. Once again, when you're with the whole Guardians group, like instead of just
it
everyone.
helps.
So many photos. It was really good. It was definitely a good ego boost. As we said, Saturday we rocked it. I normally do Joker. I felt really good about my Joker that day, and it just went over very, very well.
you killed the makeup. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
well, I actually used the fucking rigid collodion for once. And fun fact, don't use rigid collodion 2 days in a row. I've learned that. Anyone trying to do those scars, don't. It's not good. So that was that, and then the last day. I was Danny Sexbang.
Because he's
from Ninja
lazy.
Six. I am not lazy.
He's lazy
Okay,
cock.
that costume is a costume made out of love. I could say your Mando's lazy.
Yeah. How many costumes?
Oh, you
did
picked a Mando, fucking original,
How
right?
many costumes do you wear at your Star Wars convention?
One.
One. And you smell like a foot by the time you're done.
Point is, I'm not taking like huge amounts of credit or anything, but chances are, if you're at a Canadian con and there's a Danny Sexbang, obviously got a slick back now with the full afro, it's probably me. And since we were split up this weekend, we couldn't do it, but if there's a Ninja Brian, it's probably him. And Danny Sexbang went over very well.
It was awesome.
Lots
It
of
was
people
pretty
knew
great.
me. I got a picture of me riding a fucking steel horse
That was
wearing that. It was great. It was really, really good. I guess just one last thing, or not a last thing here, but obviously the camera records in 20-minute intervals, so we gotta cut and edit and all that shit. I'll edit this out. Fuck you. But one quick thing about weapons check.
Oh god.
Weapons check was actually not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Good on you.
Yeah.
It was not. Yes, you got. Yay!
Also, they
Just
tried-
because it's nerfed doesn't mean it's gonna fucking kill anybody. They were a lot better than I'd heard. Obviously, as I said, I hadn't gone last year, which is when they'd gone hardcore with the rules. Saskatoon was still the worst, apparently, from last year. So we do have Saskatoon coming up this year. Don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had my Star-Lord guns. Yes, they checked them. The only question I got was, they are nerfed. Do they still work? No. I lied. But that's all. Zip-tied, and that worked out just fine. I do know with the sidearms, the realistic sidearms, they were a bit more picky. You couldn't just zip-tie them. You did have to take them out, so your Deathstroke did. They did let you keep your sword, though,
Yeah,
so...
which was fine. Because it's a...
Yeah. It's when you fucking strip someone of all their shit is when it's really bad.
Yeah.
The one really dumb one, real quick, was when he was doing Scarecrow. He had a fucking noose around his neck, you know, much like Scarecrow. And we'd been approached by a gentleman, and he says that's... What did he say? It's like
It was
a
a
leash.
leash or a collar.
It was a leash or a collar, so it needed to be tagged.
Yeah. No, he couldn't wear it.
Or he couldn't wear it.
Not allowed
No.
to wear a leash and or a
No,
collar.
no, this is like a little piece of rope hanging off. We eventually just tucked it in like a tie, and no one gave a shit beforehand.
Blinked at it.
It was just
after that.
one guy. I don't know if maybe he was having a pissy day or something.
Power trip.
Okay.
Anyway, so as far as weapons check went, a lot better than what I'd heard.
Yeah.
So
Like as
good on you.
my experience with weapon check, my Mando armor is very, very, very weapon heavy.
Yes.
I don't have a lot of the super packs or whatever they are. I just have. I don't know what the fuck they're called because I'm still learning.
well, you're
okay?
talking to the fucking
Yeah,
Elder
talking to
Raid
the-
or whatever he's
Yeah,
called.
the survival packs.
Alfalfa.
Right? Okay. I don't have a lot of survival packs and stuff yet, but I have 3 sidearms, 2 primary weapons, 2 wrist rockets, and it's a lot. So
One of which we've called the compensation kit.
The
Yes.
overcompensator.
I should bring that on and show you.
overcompensator.
But
Yeah.
the overcompensator is an enormous 3-foot long hand pistol,
It is more than 3 feet.
and
Fuck
it's
you.
about as wide as.
You know the Nerf Maverick that everyone makes into a weapon? Think that, but with like tubing like this fucking long on it.
Yeah,
And it's still light too, so you
Yeah.
can one-hand
Yeah,
that shit.
Yeah, it's great. So and I've added lights to it and everything else, but I mean that was the
Because
issue.
your
that-
goal is to give everyone seizures.
Yes, I put lights on all my weapons because it can't look like a gun. 20 feet away in the dark. So if it's huge, it doesn't look like a gun 20 feet
And
away.
if it lights up, it's not in the dark.
It's not. You're safe in the dark. So I made 2 primary weapons. One I held on my back the whole day, and then obviously the overcompensator. I went into weapons check with those pieces, knowing about them confiscating my sidearm from the day before, and I was just over.
Joyed?
Not overjoyed, but I was trying to concede to the rules as much as possible.
Oh,
I tried
you're being, yeah.
I tried to be super friendly, super nice, make some jokes, try and get them to laugh. I gave them my big pieces first, and I insisted on them seeing every piece. I made them tag my wrist rockets because they're weapons, and they didn't have to. They said, we don't have to worry about it. No, I said, no, please tag them. They are considered the weapons on the costume. So I was just very, very over, and then I showed them the one sidearm that I still had. It was tethered into the leg armor holster that I had made for it. So you couldn't, essentially it was one piece, you couldn't even take the gun out. I explained that to them, they tagged it, and I got to wear my leg sidearm because it didn't look like a gun, when in fact it actually did. I just was trying to be super nice about it, and they were super cool about it.
Yeah.
So if you're, tips to anyone who's going to get your weapons checked, don't be a fucking asshole, okay? Be nice, smile, make a joke, and guess what? Odds are you'll probably get help, okay? And they'll probably, let it slide. But if it looks like a weapon in a holster, you probably won't get it through.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, weapons check, much, much better than last year's.
There you go.
So there's that. And then, yeah, as far as like the last event, Kid Remington had his big photo shoot at the Scotiabank steps, like he
Pictures
does every
come up.
year. Picture was really good.
Yeah.
We had Vegas Spock with us for that, so he was doing his whole thing, and I got fuck, it's hard. Oh, I can do it now.
You know what I did?
Looks like you have a lot of practice with that, JP.
Just because he masturbates, which is a sin against God. I guess as far as it wasn't even necessarily a complaint, but one thing I will address that I know has been getting a lot of attention. We weren't at it, but there was a feminist or like
Oh,
girls
yeah,
yeah, you heard about it.
I did hear about that.
There was a female in comic books panel, basically. Like, I think they were just talking about...
game... Oh, what is it?
I can't remember, but there was a feminist panel, basically, at the end of the day. And there was a group there, I think they're called Honey Badger Radio.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were responsible for the whole Gamergate thing.
Yes.
I think that's the chick who friggin' posted on the honey badger.
Actually, that would probably be it.
honey badger.
Well,
chick?
of course, then she had a horrible time because basically during their whole thing, and once again, I've seen it on both sides, and I've even heard the recordings. They're saying she stood up and was disruptive and offensive.
I will not speak.
She
Yeah.
was coming from her own point of view, which once again, I normally. I'm not going to say agree with, but I see where she's coming from. She's basically one of the feminists who is more... Feminism is equal rights, okay? There are feminists who are women are better than men, and then there are the feminists, which I agree with, who are everyone should be equal,
I agree.
okay?
Correct.
That's where I stand on that. Point is, she was bringing up her own arguments for it. They were escorted out of the panel. And then the next day, their booth had been taken down and they had been kicked out. So, yes. The point is that would be the only real negative thing I heard about it was that whole thing happening. So, there you go. I don't know which side anybody's on, but I'm just going to say that's what happened. Did they handle it poorly? I heard tell that it wasn't really specifically even really the Expo. It was the people running the group. I don't know. Once again, it is a thing that happened. Shit happens, we move on. But it has to be addressed.
And don't put it on my 5-star review.
Don't put it on his 5-star review. Everyone has different experiences at the con. He had a good time. If you had a bad time, be more constructive than just, fuck you, this is why you're wrong. There are a lot better. There are a lot better things you can do with your life than sitting in your parents' basements and writing complaints.
Posting the same complaint.
Yeah. But that was like I said, not really a complaint from me, but that was the one thing I heard about and I knew about. So you don't need to comment like 50 times about, did you know this happened? Because we do. Justice, you had something to say.
Not really a complaint. It's one compliment. The one thing I really liked about that, they kind of had a little disability-friendly thing that was going on.
Yeah.
And people who had disabilities,
There
whether
you
they're
go.
in a wheelchair or
Yeah, he's not supposed to be like this.
cerebral palsy like myself, would have a little disability tag on it. And what allowed you to do is to go into the VIP lineup, so I got to skip all the waiting time, which is very nice. When I was meeting celebrities like Peter Cullen and Rosie O'Donnell.
I mean, and because you get tired a little bit quicker than
Yeah.
most, it was very, very convenient for Justice to be able to do that. One thing I would like to maybe recommend for next year is
Wheelchairs.
possibly have
Wheelchairs.
some wheelchairs available for people who don't often use a wheelchair but might possibly need one,
Yeah.
either for rent or even just for
The
free.
thing is, that being said, though, there have been cons where they have had that, and people purposely rent them just for the purpose of faking it.
getting it.
Yeah.
So it is a fine line.
But they were super helpful.
How do they make him prove it?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right?
I'm sorry.
You really
Just shove him out of the chair. He's not getting up. Yeah, he's real.
That would be funny.
That would.
Well, hence why
That's
people
why,
can
yeah.
easily get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I couldn't have picked three better people to go to the con with. Chris, other Chris, and Justice.
You were with us in spirit.
They
You were
wish
with us
I
in
was
spirit.
there.
Yeah, we were.
I was having a better
But
time in Anaheim.
You were there every time I touched
The road trip
myself.
was hilarious. The 4 days there was unforgettable, and now I just have a newfound respect for my friend Chris.
Which
one?
Chris?
Which one?
he's just leaving it at
He
that.
touched
He's
me,
gonna
so
leave
I'm
it.
going to assume it was me. But yeah, at the end of the day, Calgary Con, he's shaking his head. Or something. I
Yes,
don't
he
fucking
is.
know. Jesus Christ, why don't you grow some hair about it? Point is, Calgary was awesome. Calgary was a really good time. Like I said, my second time, their first times. It's the con I'm always looking forward to every year. I am too broke to afford Toronto, so I don't know if that one's better, but if you're looking for the bigger cons and you're a bit cheaper like me, Calgary, definitely go check it out. I can't wait for next year. Let's all hug JP.
God no!
JP.
Not a hug! I love you, JP! That's my ear!